Surprising performances from the men's race. Del Toro being this good, especially in terms of like explosivity in basically sprint stages. I didn't see coming because, like, frankly, if he could do this last year in U23s, he would have been literally just riding away on any hill and winning by like 2 minutes, in like any race. So, which he didn't do last year. So, yeah, that was really, really surprising to me because I thought he was a pure climber. So that, yeah, like really, really good sprint. So I'd like to see him in the classics. He just on that, he was the youngest winner, I think, of Lavernier and since Otterbrooks, which was the year before. So that's he's a very young he's a very young winner of
Man,
Lavernier.
he was the youngest winner in the last 2 years.
In the last 12 months. He was the youngest winner of Lavernier in the last 12 months. Well, there you go. Race to the future, baby.
Yeah. The stats are real. The stats are real. This man's dropping facts, but it's true. And it's like, I think I first heard of Isaac Del Toro in the CBU tour from Orient, who works with Tour de Titema. What's his tagline?
Le Pedal Douce, LPD.
Yes. He is the one that spoke to me about him the first time, but people apparently were talking about him for a while because Jose Bain had like a tweet up a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, about him being at AR Monix in a cyclocross race, and I'm like, oh, I only heard of this guy halfway through 2023, and I felt like I was early.
Well, yeah, because his results weren't good before. Which there's like, they're like in 2022, they weren't good. All that good. And then in 23, yeah, he sort of first like started being good in the Italian national races, and then Tentin Jasinski, and then Sibiu good on Badialac, or like okay, and then Valados to third, and then clean Lavernier. So like big improvement last year, and he was in a San Milanese. So basically, if people don't know, the Mexican Federation is banned by the IOC.
Yeah,
can't remember why. Luke will check
probably
why.
doping related.
Could be corruption.
Probably
banned,
both.
so they did
No
something nefarious.
Yes.
And so basically that's really difficult for Mexican riders, evidently. Yep. There's also not a great pathway. So former Mexican riders set up a team based in San Marino, AR Monex. They race out of there, but it's mainly Mexican riders. And he's got his own coach, Cruz, I think, and yeah, it's a big, like that's difficult, a much more difficult pathway than someone who's getting full support, like maybe the Western Europeans and Northern Europeans.
And then I feel like the Avenir organizers are making it even harder for riders from those countries to actually go through, because they put in a damn team time trial when you know it's a national team-based race. So I'm not attacking Mexican riders here, but there's more of a pool of talent being scouted in for the national team of France, Italy, whatever at the moment than there's for Mexico. So equipment as well, just everything combined gives them such a disadvantage in that race, that the fact that Del Toro still won that race after losing loads of time on that team time trial.
Yeah.
The way he won that race was absolutely crazy. Like he had a stage where he had a full comeback story. And then Cor Vos, also pretty big victory. But like, this man's the real thing. And also this week, like, his sprint is on point.
Yeah, that's what was.
He's got a pony sprint.
But that's what surprised. Like, I mean, on stage 4, he sort of won the kick behind, but that was uphill. Yeah, I just didn't see the sprint last year, but with the TTT, like I'm pretty sure the Scandinavians, they turn 14, they get like a gift voucher at the local wind tunnel, and like I said, like it's not fair having a TTT into a Lavernier. But
Correct.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, but all on that scouting point, like no one beats Machin. You're not going to beat Machin for a Hispanophone. Like he probably would have been talking to Del Toro 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, or he's talking especially Hispanophones. So like, him going to UAE, not surprising. AR Monix was on Colnago's, like, see the writing on the wall. But yeah, just watch out for him this year. This probably won't be the last we see of him this year, I would say. But already impressing.
What's his pathway? As in, he's a young rider, obviously. He's like now breaking through even more than he already was, because like we know who won Avenir, but mainstream cycling fans don't necessarily watch L'Avenir or follow L'Avenir. And Santos Under is still maybe a bit more to the forefront than Avenir, but I also would think that it's still a bit, not everyone watches Santos Under or watches races outside of the Tour de France. So what's going to be his pathway? His upcoming participations in Tour of Oman, which actually I'm quite looking forward to. But outside of that, you said it, the dude can compete for LBL. I wonder what he would do in Italian classics at the end of the year as well.
I think he's going to be pretty unstoppable in like Tre Valley Veracini type races.
Yeah.
In that UA team's already stacked. So I think basically you just pull Ulisi out and put him in. Is what they're going to do. And that's going to be pretty effective next to Sivakov and Ishii, let alone Big Achelab. And Adam Yates. Our Italian classics team is ridiculous.